Been a busy day though, right?
Dude, it has been a busy day. 2 birthdays today.
2 birthdays. We didn't plan that better. 2 birthdays. I mean,
Yeah. That's probably why I can do this today, is because I couldn't actually plan anything else because
That's
of 2
true.
birthdays.
Yeah. And we're almost 2 hours later getting started than we typically are, which is fine.
And we were almost 2 hours later than at getting started than what we planned. I was so late.
Well, we're actually like a day and a half because we were going to do this yesterday.
Well, that doesn't count.
No.
Yeah. if it's like a mulligan.
You know, what I've noticed in booking guest, period, it's like you look at Rogan and Jocko, whoever, right? And they've got people on, Theo Vaughn, Jordan Peterson. But, like, these people don't have jobs.
Well, yeah.
You know?
Their job is to make scheduling like Joe Rogan.
Right.
And I bet you can make your schedule pretty clear if you were going to be on Joe Rogan and Jocko and all that.
Right, yeah.
Pretty available.
So, I have people on, and I can't tell you the number of times somebody has texted me, like, the day of, an hour before, and been like, hey,
can't do it?
Thing. Yeah.
Oh, wow.
So, it happens.
No, I'm just going to show up an hour late.
Yeah.
But
good enough. Good. There wasn't like a late today. You were like, hey, I'll let you know when I can make it. And we've just kind of been waiting, which is fine.
Yeah, I just never let you know anything.
Yeah. But then you did.
It's been a busy day. It's been a busy week. This week has been very busy.
Just this week? This weekend?
This week, it has been very busy. This particular week.
Why, PJ? Why has this week been so busy? What are you doing?
Oh, my goodness. I am going to open a jiu-jitsu gym in the city of Rome, Georgia. Yeah. So that's a lot. It's a lot more than I'm used to. Like, I don't know. I'm just not good at that part. Like the saying it out loud part.
Yeah.
Or the making the plans part, or any of those parts. Once it's going, I'm back in. It's like a fish back in its environment, you know what I mean? Mm-hmm. But it feels good again.
Yeah.
But right now, I'm like a fish out of water.
Yeah. Well,
you know?
it's tough being the guy.
Yeah. And I'm just I need my jiu-jitsu.
Yeah.
And when I don't have it, I get like, I don't know, weird.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like it's like my therapy. It's a lot of people's therapy, but I've just been doing it for so long and so consistent that when I don't have it super consistently, I literally don't know who I am, you know? And I guess the word, I don't use this word. I could never have described myself this way before, or hardly ever anyways. It's like anxious or like maybe depressed. I don't know the right word, but like just a heaviness, just because like I can't get out this like energy. You know, and I feel like scatterbrained and stuff. But, I'm not big on calling 100 people 100 times and keeping a good schedule, as like we were just saying. I'm not very good at this. I forget things, forget to call people, I forget to email people, I forget to be somewhere and all that. I'm getting better at it. I've much improved at it for sure over the past few years. But, this past week specifically has just been a lot, like out of nowhere, you know, because it's kind of thrown together. I mean, this is, it's not like I had a whole lot of time to figure out exactly how this was all going to go down.
Yeah.
It was kind of, just a brainchild out of nowhere, and here it is, and let's do it. And now, trying to, get everything sorted out the way I want it and do it the right way. And it's just a lot. And I'm having a lot of fun doing it, and I'm going to look back on it, and I'm going to be very, very thankful that I did it, I think. And but this week is definitely like a screwdriver pretending to be a knife. You know what I mean? Like we're trying, like I'm just not the correct tool for this part of the job. I cannot wait to get back to what I do so well.
It was just funny because we were talking Friday, Saturday last week. Like, hey, where do you think, about a location or whatever? And you were like, I like this place and I feel pretty good about it.
Yeah.
And you signed the lease on Monday. So like, bang, bang.
Yeah. Once I finally was able to see it and, go in and make sure that was what I thought it was and talk to people and to kind of negotiate that and everything, it went really, really fast. So, but, making the schedules work, I'm probably being more dramatic than what it actually is. It's probably just the fact that I am so anxious and ready to do this. It's probably not that I'm actually late to everything or that I'm missing my phone calls or missing my emails. It's probably that I'm sitting here refreshing my emails every 10 minutes.
Yeah.
You know, waiting for that email back about the quote on the mats or whatever.
Right.
And I'm the only one that thinks I could go faster maybe. I don't know. I feel like, you know, from the moment it kind of came to fruition, like, okay, we're doing it, to now of the recording of this and the day that we have our, you know, grand opening, like looking at it from 1,000 feet, it's very fast.
Yeah.
It's very, very fast.
Yeah.
But for me, that, you know, however long it's going to be from deciding to do it and then getting to do it, it feels like an eternity.
Yeah.
You know, it feels like forever to me. I'm just really excited to start building, you know?
Yeah. So I don't know, maybe we jumped ahead a little bit. Let's back up just a little bit. We've established that you're starting a jiu-jitsu school.
I am doing a grappling club.
Grappling club. What's the name of your grappling club?
The name of the gym is going to be Emperor City Grappling Club, right? And I like that. I like that name. I like it because it takes ownership of an area. You know what I mean? And it kind of, you know, lets people... when they read it, they might not know exactly what Emperor City is, but then they find, oh, Rome, like that makes sense. It's pretty cool play on words. And I don't know, it's just taking ownership of something and letting, that's what I want. I want the community to have ownership in this, right? And that means a lot to me, to know that they are bought in, you know, in a time and energy perspective. And so, yeah, Emperor City I thought was a really cool name. There's a gym, shout out to Ruben Vera, in Cincinnati, Ohio. He let me come to his gym once for $2,000 for a bracket, and I got my butt kicked in the semifinals by a really good guy. And
yeah, but you were in the semis.
You know, it is what it is. Yeah, I mean,
tournament.
if I would have had him in the first round, he'd have kicked my butt in the first round too. I mean, it's
not
just
the
luck
point.
of the draw a little bit, but that's okay.
Right.
But yeah, his gym, Ruben's gym, is called Queen City Grappling Club because he's in Cincinnati.
Okay.
And man, I just remember hearing Queen City, and I was like, man,
that sounds cool, right?
Yeah, I never heard Cincinnati called Queen City. I guess they all know about it. But you know, I've heard like Grappling Club and all kinds of different, you know, ways to say jiu-jitsu gym, you know. But
that allows you to not entirely be pigeonholed into jiu-jitsu either.
Yeah, well, you know me. I mean, I just like to wrestle with things, you know?
Yeah.
Like I just like to grab things and wrestle with them in any weird way I can. And if it's going to be Brazilian jiu-jitsu or Japanese jiu-jitsu or whatever, I don't care. So I don't like to, you know, constrain myself to Brazilian jiu-jitsu every day. Like that's what I'm belted in. That's what I'm going to train. That's what the classes are going to be for the most part. But my personal thing is you can call it whatever you want. You know, a Kimura grip, whether you're using it as a submission or a position, you know, to off balance somebody and get control of them, it's gonna work. It's gonna work. So you can call it whatever you want. It could be Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu if that's what you want it to be.
Yeah.
It could be a double wrist lock and catch wrestling if that's what they want it to be. I don't care what you call it. Call it a creamsicle for all I care. I don't care what you call it. It's a position. It's a move. It's a technique. It's concepts, and they're gonna work. So. Grappling club, you know, is like you said, it's much more vast, and I like that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, I mean, should you decide to do wrestling or judo or catch wrestling or sumo or samba,
whatever. Yeah.
Yeah, you can do any of those things. But let's chase a little bit of a rabbit trail. You're a grappler. Like you like to grapple with life, with things.
I enjoy that.
You take up odd hobbies.
Yeah, odd hobbies, arguments. Like I will start an argument just for the sake of arguing.
We were talking about this earlier, right? You're the guy, the reason for the meme, I knew I was wrong 10 minutes ago. I'm just trying to make you mad now.
That's me, bro. That's me, bro. And, you know, and there's something, who was it? Was it Socrates? The Socratic method, right? Where you argue via asking people questions and you let them answer the questions and then you just poke holes in their argument. And they can be right, but you're just... you know, more or less agitated. Dude, I love that.
Looking at you,
I love that.
Trip Durden.
Yeah, bro, if you were to put Trip and I down and sit us right here, who was it? It was Eddie Hall. You know who Eddie Hall is? Mm-hmm. And
big strong guy?
Thor, the guy who did the world record deadlift. And they just sat down and had a Mike O'Hearn moderated it.
Yeah.
And they just debated they were going to do a boxing match, right? And Dude, it was good entertainment, right? Two big meatheads arguing it out, right? And if it was Tripp and I, it could be one big meathead and a very aggravating, scrawny person, and it would be a lot of fun. But yeah, no, any of that, weird hobbies, anything that's challenging or hard or whatever, and then about the time I get good at it, I quit doing it so much. It's not as fun to me anymore. I remember that's how I got to using chopsticks. We would go to Chef Shin Buffet in Armurchie, Georgia, when that was open. And I remember thinking, like, man, I eat so fast with this fork, I get sick. Like, when we come here, I'm going to use these stupid sticks.
Try chasing your rice around with
chopsticks. Oh, my gosh.
Right? Yeah.
And then after, like, a month of that, I got so good with it. I was like, oh, that's not fun anymore, But, but yeah, like, I just like to wrestle with things. It's just fun.
Challenge.
So, yeah, a lot of the things I get out of grappling, whether it's, let's just call it submission grappling, isn't the techniques itself. Like I've always told people that if the best thing they get out of training jiu-jitsu or whatever, grappling, is the jiu-jitsu and grappling itself, they are totally missing the point.
Oh, man.
Completely.
Yeah.
Like there's so much more you can get out of, so much more valuable things than just the stupid techniques we're doing. Who cares? You know what I mean about that? That's nice, I guess, and it's the common thing that gets us all in here. But, it's just so not even it's not the top 5 most valuable things that you'll get out of this if you're doing it the right way with the right people and really bought into it. You know what I mean? Yeah.
Well, that's what I've always enjoyed that about knowing you and being friends with you, and the way that you relate to people. And
well,
it seemed, I remember my first couple times coming to class, like on my first time, was a no-gi class, and my kids had been training for a little while, and I decided I was going to stay, and I was like dressed out and ready to roll that night, and you walked by me. You were still doing the end of the kids class, and you were like, "Are you staying to train tonight?" And I was like, "Yeah," and you were fired up.
Yeah, it's exciting. It's exciting. I just remember my first day. I remember going in, and this might be redundant to episode 143.
143 is where you were on last. Go back and watch it.
10 months ago.
Yeah.
But yeah, so it might be redundant. I'm going to try not to be too much. But I just remember my first day and how valuable that was to my development as a person,
Yeah.
And I'd been grappling for years. My first competitive wrestling match was I was 8 years old, and I was on and off through, those preteen years there.
Yeah.
But, picked back wrestling back up in middle school. But my first day in jiu-jitsu was so valuable. I just remember, I'll never forget it. I won't forget the way it smelled in there. Wasn't good.
It's not great.
Jiu-jitsu gyms in 2011 did not smell good.
Yeah.
But much better these days. But anyways, I'll literally remember the smell, and I'll literally remember what I was thinking in those moments, and I remember how it felt, and it was just so valuable to me. So I get really excited when I see, especially people with kids, because it's one of the only things you'll ever do that you and your kids are peers. Like both of y'all, the kid's going to come off the mat and say, "Dad, I got my butt handed to me today. That was rough." And then they're going to watch it happen to you in the adults class. And they're like, "Oh, man, like that's a important thing for them," and it's a really cool bonding experience that I get to see parents and kids do. So I get really, really excited when I see parents, moms or dads or whatever, but like just get out there and experience it with them,
Well, my kids are who got me into it.
Mm-hmm.
We signed them up almost a month before I took my first class, and they were like, "Hey, you should try." They stayed after me, and now we had pictures together in our white belts. And me and Ayla both got our blue belt.
It's amazing.
And like I don't train nearly as often as I should, or even that I would like to, but you keep going back for that.
Yeah, chasing that.
Yeah.
And it'll always be there. There'll always be a new thing to experience, right? Yeah. Especially in jiu-jitsu, there's always a new rule set. So even if you are some kind of tough guy that likes to compete or something, there's always a new rule set to chase. You don't have to get stuck in one. It's not like folk style or freestyle wrestling where it's like these are what you got.
Yeah, what you do here.
Yeah, man, you can go and chase all kinds of different. So yeah, and then gi and no gi, and it's just really cool that you can get a lot of growth out of this, and a lot of it's technical and physical, but it's not the valuable stuff. The valuable stuff comes in other ways.
Yeah.
So I get really excited, especially for the kids. I just so desperately want to be who I so desperately wanted. I wanted someone to look at me when I was 14 or whatever and care and say things like, "Man, I'm so excited to see you compete this weekend." Not that my dad or my mom or whoever wasn't. It's just when it's your family doing it, you're like,
they're obligated, right?
Yeah, of course. But to take somebody that you just met and he's full of this excitement, and in this moment he's fully present, like he is giving me all of his attention and energy, and I can feel that kids are very in tune to whether or not you care, like not care, that's not the right word, but if you're giving them your energy, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
They need to understand. And that's why, every kid's uncle is their favorite person to hang out with, because the guy comes over and gives them all their energy and body slams them on the couch for an hour, And if I can be that as a jiu-jitsu coach, like that's really cool. And I wanted that really bad for myself, and now I can do that for them, and it's so addicting, and I miss it so much. I haven't done it in a couple weeks, and I might explode. You
just got a little while to go, man. Just hang in there.
Yeah.
It'll be all right.
Yeah. So
you get to heal up for a little while. And
I am feeling
go to
a little better.
Class,
I'm feeling a little better.
Not starting the class sore.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I've still been wrestling some. Jonathan Fogus is going to win a state championship this year. It's one of the most impressive
When
feats.
is that?
The championship?
Yeah.
So they've changed the way they do it. It used to be a 3-day tournament. Now it's a 2-day tournament, and the classifications are staggered throughout the week. I think his is still on Friday and Saturday.
Do you know the date?
So if the 7th and 8th is Friday, Saturday.
Yeah.
The math. It's going to be the 14th and 15th.
Okay, so this episode's going to come out before his...
Yeah.
Okay.
But I can go ahead and tell you he's going to win a state championship.
Oh, yeah.
I don't have to wait. He's going to win one.
Yeah.
I'm very proud of him, not to put that crazy pressure on everything. I don't think there's any pressure. He's a very smart kid. So I've been wrestling. Yeah. To get back to my point here, I could talk about Jonathan all day. I'm so excited.
Man,
we've been watching all this
kid.
film on these kids, and he's just he's the reason kids like him make what I do worth it.
Yeah.
But so I've been wrestling with him a little bit, doing some other stuff, training a little bit here and there. But so I'm healing up. But I'm a ball of energy. Like I might grab you right now. You better be glad there ain't a timer in here going beat.
We can move all this stuff.
Like if a microwave goes off right now and the buzzer, and I feel like it's a timer, I might grab you. You better watch it. So, but anyways, it's gonna be fun.
I got a few minutes in me. We'll get a roll in.
Yeah. We'll tag y'all in. He wrestled. You can handle it.
We'll be fine.
Yeah. But
this is exciting stuff, though, man.
Yeah, it's exciting. When I was 15 years old, I decided I was going to do this.
Yeah.
And I didn't even have a gym membership anywhere yet. It was me and my stepbrother training in our yard on gymnastics mats.
Yeah.
And I was like, I'm going to be a professional MMA fighter. I'm going to own a gym, right? And we're going to do it together. And before New Breed, the tournament was named that. It wasn't even a thing yet, not to our knowledge anyways. We were going to call it New Breed. New Breed Jiu-Jitsu was what we were going to name it.
Yeah.
Or New Breed MMA or something. I can't remember. And then you get beat up and you realize those MMA fighters are crazy good athletics and they're maniacs and they beat the crap out of you for about 6 years and you realize, man, the goalposts are moving.
Yeah.
That
game is evolving.
Yeah, and I ended up meeting the love of my life when I was, 17. I guess I was 17. So priorities changed.
Yeah.
Jiu-jitsu stuck around. Wrestling stuck around. Grappling. Yeah. I never really fell in love with the striking. I wasn't awful at it, I don't guess. I wouldn't say I was good at it, especially in a competitive sense. I wasn't good at it. But
there's something about getting punched in the face, though, that doesn't lend itself to, like, longevity and quality of life.
Yeah, I got beat up. I ended up tearing my labrum, having really bad shoulder problems. I was so weak and small. I was having a lot of shoulder problems and stuff. So when I realized the MMA thing probably wasn't the best path for me, I pivoted, and like I said, the jiu-jitsu and the wrestling stuck around, and I really started leaning hard into that. And my stepbrother at the time, he ended up kind of phasing out, right? But I stayed on the path, and I was like, I'm gonna own a gym. The MMA thing might not be my thing, but I'm gonna own a gym. I have a gift. I feel like I'm good at teaching. I genuinely care, which is a gift in itself. It's a shame that it is, but it is. Most coaches, that you walk in any sport in America, they just are doing it because it's something they do and because they were really good. It's not because they actually care all that much.
Right.
but I really care. And so I stuck with it. And then I had a new stepbrother. Thanks, Dad. And he wanted to wrestle, and he was in like 7th grade or something, and he was kind of uncomfortable. You know how it is. Wrestling's scary.
It's awkward, yeah.
So I text the middle school coach. I'm like, hey, do you care if I bring him and I practice with him? It might make him feel a little more comfortable. He's like, yeah. And I went, and it was like I needed it. You know, I realized my soul was yearning to be around young men like that want to better themselves. So I coached that whole season, and then I was like, okay, like now I found my lane. I'm doing jiu-jitsu still. I'm getting better. I think I was a blue belt, and I'm getting better and improving. And now I've got this coaching wrestling thing. We did really good this year as a team. I leaned into it. My 2nd year coaching the middle school, we ended up winning the area championship. Was really neat, and that sunk the hook. I had amazing young men. Cameron Espy, JJ House, a lot of kids. I could go on and on. Theodore Chestnut. I mean, I could literally name all 25 kids on the team.
Yeah.
But anyway, that was amazing, and stuck with it. And so I always knew, changing through affiliations and gyms and sports, even from jiu-jitsu to wrestling, I always knew that I was going to do this. This is how I'm going to retire. When I'm 50 years old, people are going to call me and ask me to come to their gym, and because I'm their head affiliate, and I'm going to teach a seminar at their place. I'm going to do it all over this side of the country.
Yeah.
I mean, it's going to be me. I've been saying that since I was 15. Still the thing I'm dead set on. And this is a very natural step in that. And I hope that everyone listening can tell I am so excited.
Man, it's an exciting thing, man.
Yeah.
And it's good. I'm thinking earlier today, and I'm going to talk to PJ about, and another gym, wherever it is a growth in the sport. Yeah. And like, I remember in 1993, Tango's dad, we went to school together. We were in 8th grade. He got UFC 1 on VHS at Collinsville, the biggest flea market in the world. And we watched it locked in his bedroom like we were getting away with something.
That's hilarious.
And that was the first time anybody in America had seen jiu-jitsu. And, that was only 30 years ago.
Yeah.
In terms of
sport,
it's just
exploded,
and how big
man.
it is.
It's so much fun. It's just something that everybody can do. If you're listening to this and you think you can't do it, you are wrong.
Yeah.
You are so very wrong. It is incredible, and you owe it to yourself to try it. You owe it to. I don't care. You can live in Bangladesh. If you're listening to this, find the nearest gym. Like, I don't know where. I don't have to benefit from a business standpoint from you and go and trying it. You have to go try it. I don't care where you do it. You have to try it and give yourself that experience. And even if you don't love it, that's fine. But you owe it to yourself to go and experience what that is, what the rave is all about. What everybody's talking about, right?
Well, no, I had just turned 42 when I started. And you see people on social media and all the time starting jiu-jitsu at 40, 50, 60.
Yep.
You're not too old or too fat or too skinny or too, whatever.
Yep. I rolled with a guy. What day is it? Today is, I don't know what day it is. It's Sunday.
Today's Sunday. Today's Sunday. I don't know. Yeah.
Sunday-ish. Yeah. I guess it was maybe this past week, Thursday maybe or something. I rolled with a guy that was 63 years old. Yeah, I got to do a 5-minute round with a 63-year-old man, and he brought the ruckus. You know what I mean? Like, it was amazing. And so, anyways, I got mad respect for anybody that tries it, but especially the older folks. Or
you got a soft spot in your heart for the old guy.
Yeah. I don't know why. Maybe it's my dad, aging out of the rodeo thing. And I just watched him hold on so much longer than anybody else. He's in his 40s, still doing a sport that people retire at 25 from.
Yeah.
And these kids, they're literally kids, that he's competing against.
Yeah.
And so maybe that's why. I don't know what it is, but I do. I relate to the old dude. I feel like if it wasn't jiu-jitsu, I'd be working at the dump,
We talked about that.
That's plan B, If this old gym thing doesn't work out, catch me on Potts Road, right?
Yeah.
I'm coming for your job, old man.
None of those guys are below 70.
No, they're very old. Yeah, very, very old. But, so... I get along with those dudes. And then the little kids, man. I just love them. The ladies, too. The ladies, how hard... Okay, think about how hard it was for you to come in, Danny.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
Imagine the ladies trying to come in to some...
And a lot of times you're the only lady in there.
Yeah. And
it's tough.
It's not just is what it is.
Yeah.
They deserve to have a community, and we're going to make one for them. And I'm really, really excited for that, and for them to get together and find like-minded individuals that are also ladies. You know what I mean? I'm very, very excited for that. So them and the little kids and the older dudes and whoever, and the young guys, the young guys that want to get in there and rip people's faces off,
There's
everybody
a place
thinks
for that too.
I get paid to beat people up, and that ain't it.
Yeah.
I get my butt kicked for a living. Like, people just come in waves and waves and waves of people, just come in and try to kill me, and I'll pat them on the back and say, good job, dude, you got me.
You've heard me say before, I think, that I feel like you're a professional crash test dummy.
Yeah, it's a good way to say it. That's what it feels like when you wake up.
Yeah. Well, you'll put yourself in bad situations just to either see if you can get out of them, or if the guy can put you away.
It's good for you. It's good for you. That's why I started. It's not because I want to be good at arm bars. It's because I want to be able to persevere. And if you're just in there rolling at kids class every day, beating everybody up all the time, and it's easy for you, you gotta challenge yourself a little bit. And sometimes that means you roll with the guy that can beat you up, and other times you look around, there's just not a lot of those guys here that day, and so you got to put yourself in weird positions to face adversity. So but
I encourage you, if you can, to mop the room at least once, though, before you.
Oh, yeah.
If you can, if you ever presented that opportunity, sub everybody in the room.
Yeah. Oh, dude, I have days like that where, like, if I tell you right now, day one,
not the day.
Oh man, it's not gonna be the day where I face adversity. I'm gonna be giving them the beans. Like, I'm just so excited to train.
Yeah.
But So anyway,
man, you're talking about putting yourself in bad situations and tough spots and persevering. That's kind of where you are right now,
homie. It is exactly where I am. It is so stressful. I don't know. It's anybody that's open to business, you hear it all the time. How stressful it is and everything. For me, it's stressful. Thank goodness, thank Christ, I have an incredibly supportive wife.
Oh man,
and
Kara's the best.
And I have a great outlet and a little girl who I can hang out with, and she just tickles me pink. She's just hilarious. So I have a lot of good support. Guys like you who take care of me and make sure my head's screwed on straight. So it is, it's challenging. It's just not what I do. People that start up businesses and sell them wouldn't be stressed right now, but they go to their first jiu-jitsu class and they'll crap their pants.
Yeah.
Right? It's just not where I live and thrive, and it's just the startup's the hardest part. And I know as soon as we get going,
you're gonna be
back
great.
to business. Back to business.
It was funny. We were on the phone yesterday, day before, and you were like, "Man, I've walked a circle in my yard on the phone the last few days and killed this grass." And you sent me a picture. There's like a path in your yard where you've been pacing.
Yeah, I didn't even realize it. And I was on the phone and I was like, "Did I do this, or did someone do a lap around my yard with a lawnmower?"
Yeah,
you know what I mean. But
mildly stressful. All good though.
But it's going to be amazing. It's going to be everything I've always wanted since I was 15 years old, and it's just one more step in the direction of being the guy that people call to come teach at their gym. You know what I mean? That's going to be me. And a lot of people probably hear this and think I'm crazy or whatever, but like they thought I was crazy when I was 15 too.
Well, I mean, while we're at it, you're doing that next weekend. It will be by the time this comes out, it'll be in a couple
plug,
days.
Danny. Good job.
Yeah,
doing a seminar on February 7th and 8th at Gabriel Brown's gym. Shout out the laser. He's the laser lion.
He's the laser lion.
And his gym is the Laughing Lion BJJ.
Yeah.
In Cedartown, Georgia. In the Cedartown Health Spa.
There you go.
There you go. $40 for one day, $60 for both days. I'm not doing some crazy, silly, ridiculous jiu-jitsu techniques that only jiu-jitsu's, is it savants? Is that how you say that? Those guys.
Yeah.
Yeah. I'm not doing it. I'm not doing a seminar for them. I'm doing a submission escape seminar.
That's an insanely valuable
it's
thing
also
to have
huge.
in technique.
It's also an absolutely huge seminar. Most people do seminars on one very specific thing, right? Set of skills or concepts or position or whatever. And that's cool. But I want to do a seminar for the community. So if you're a day one dude and you've never done jiu-jitsu before your entire life, you can do this seminar because we're going to start in a submission. And I'm going to teach you what the submission needs to work, and we're going to systematically break that down and get out. Yeah. Right? So it's not supposed to be some, high-level intermediate or expert seminar. This is a beginner seminar. This is a beginner type person seminar. So that's what I want to do it for. And everyone thinks that in jiu-jitsu and probably everything, I'm not an authority on everything. I'm only an authority on jiu-jitsu, so that's all I can speak on. Right. But everybody thinks that fundamentals and flashy, cool, advanced stuff is this pyramid, right? And everybody thinks that the fundamentals is this base layer and everything else is built up like a pyramid on it. But it's actually like fundamentals is the pyramid, and then the flashy advanced stuff is just like a blanket laid on top of it, so the outer edges of it. You know what I mean? But the basics and fundamentals are so much bigger than what people actually think, and submission escapes are what make me so confident to do my jiu-jitsu, is because I know at the end of the day that 99% of the people that I've put hands on in the past calendar year can't sniff a submission on me because I can get out. Yeah. If it gets really, really bad, I can get out. And that brings some supreme confidence to take some risks. Well, you know what I mean?
Think back to day one of jiu-jitsu. I'm thinking about my first class in jiu-jitsu, and I remember rolling with some pretty high-level dudes and just getting subbed. We were doing 10-minute rolls, and I'd be subbed 20 times. Yeah. And thinking, I wish I knew how to get out of that.
Yeah.
And I had coached
and you ask
wrestling.
them a lot of times, and they'll tell you.
Yeah, right, because community's awesome. Yeah.
Yeah, well, and so I always tell people it's about seminars. You don't want to remember everything from a seminar. That's silly. You can't do it.
It's a lot.
I'm going to teach 3 hours between 2 days, right?
Yeah.
You can't do it, so forget it. Stop trying to do it. Mm-hmm. Come in there with a thing in your head. I want to escape this submission, right? This is the submission I get caught in. And remember that escape when we get to it. Yeah. On the first day, I'm going to teach, my intentions are, we'll see what happens. You know how I am.
Yeah.
I'm going to teach submission escapes from when they're attacking us from their guard, right? Which is the beginner's biggest problem. They slap and bump with a guy, and the guy lays down like he's a dead sloth. And they're like, I'm going to kill this dude. And then they grab him and die immediately.
Yeah.
That is everyone's experience. If you didn't have that experience, you're lying, right?
Yeah.
And so we're going to start with the guy tapping us from bottom, and we're on top, and we're trying to escape those. And then we'll work into stuff when he's got us in the top position. He's pinned us, and he's starting to isolate things, and we've got to try to find some mobility, right? Which is harder, frankly.
Yeah, it's way harder.
It's harder. It's once they've passed and pinned and isolated, it's a lot harder to get out of that stuff. That's why it's going to be day 2.
Yeah.
But, it's still doable. It's still doable.
Right.
But, I'm really excited about that seminar. It's February 7th and 8th. On the 7th, it's like 6:30 to 8. And on the 8th, the February 8th, it's like, I want to say like 10:30 to 12 or something like that.
You can find it it's on social media.
Instagram, Facebook, hit up Gabriel.
We can share. Remind me to post like the flyer maybe in the show notes or the comment or whatever.
Yeah, hey, I have a business phone now, so the phone number to the business phone is 706-844-3904.
There you go.
So now it's off right now because it's 9 o'clock at night and I don't want to do business. Yeah. So that's why I have a business phone.
We're in the middle of a podcast. Turn your phone off.
Yeah. So yeah. So, but yeah, anyways, text me or call me or whatever there, you know, and we can get you hooked up with the scheduling on that. But,
well, I mean, let's get into that. We're talking about Emperor City Grappling Club.
Emperor City Grappling Club,
So let's, I guess, first and foremost, when does Emperor City Grappling Club start?
Okay, so the intentions in this moment today are we have the grand opening on March 1st. Mm-hmm. Okay? Now, there's a lot of that has to happen between now and then, right?
Yeah.
But
today is February 2nd.
If there are mats in the building, we're doing it. Okay?
Yeah.
You know how the mat people are. You might not, because you might never have to call them. They're not great. They're not great. They're not great to work with. But that's okay. We're doing it. So March 1st is going to be the grand opening. I'm going to do an open mat, open house. So if you want to train at Emperor City Grappling Club and you want to get in and pay for your first week or your first month, whichever it is, because the first week is going to be $20. You get a week for $20. After that, you can sign up. We can talk about your price because it's going to be kind of situational, right? But yeah, you can sign up on March 1st. That way I don't have to try to sign up 700 people I'm being a little optimistic maybe. But however many people show up, right? March 1st, we're going to do open house, open mat. If you want to bring a gi or some no-gi stuff or wrestling shoes or whatever it is that you're into, bring it, and you can roll around and train some too. And we'll do that till about lunch, you know. And then after lunch, we will go shower. There's a shower in the gym, so that'll be dope. If you need to shower there, you can. Just bring your soap, right? Yeah. And if you need to shower, you can. And then we'll do a cookout. We're going to just hang out in the parking lot, do a cookout, sit around a grill for, a couple of hours, hang out, and then, go do life. But then I'll see you Monday, March 3rd for regular scheduled classes. Yeah.
Well, what time are our regular scheduled classes going to be?
Okay, so this is still, I don't want to say up in the air.
Okay, yeah.
But
tentative.
Tentative.
Yeah.
I am taking... not reviews? Suggestions. Thank you, Danny. Yeah, it's been a wild day. 2-year-old birthday party today. Okay, I'm frazzled.
Ooh,
yeah, and a guy like me. Yeah. 2-year-old nephew party today. I'm frazzled, man. But anyways, So, still the kids' age groups are still a little up in the air. I got to figure that out. All ages from 5:45 to 6:30 Monday through Thursday, 45-minute class. I am good at what I do, and what I do is kids classes. And I have perfected the art of what it is for these kids to train. I'm an expert at it, and I know what age groups work, and I know what age groups don't work, and I know what times work, and I know what the durations. I know it. I figured it out. I'm down to a system. And I'm very passionate about it, and that is what works, 45-minute classes.
Listen. Let me just pause right there for just a second. What you said sounds really arrogant, and I wanted the listener or the viewer to understand that I know a lot of coaches. Having been a coach and been a sports journalist, I've been around, I don't know how many coaches, different levels. I don't know a coach better than PJ Broome.
Well, that's very sweet.
I'm still talking, PJ. Okay. Give me a second. I've said before, I think in the last podcast when you were on, I mentioned it. There are people who are good at what they do, and there are people who are great or excellent at what they do. You were born for what you do. You were that good at it. It's such a different thing than you'll see, especially in like a rec league stick and ball sport.
Oh my goodness!
When it's just some guy's dad that's out there.
Most people, God bless them for doing it, and they get put into these roles, or it's just the next step in their journey, right? Yeah. If they could, they'd be pro, but they're not, so they're doing this. That's not me. I pivoted off that when I was 17, 18 years old. Yeah. Right? And I decided that, I'm exceptionally scrawny and fragile. Pro probably ain't going to work. Am I allowed on the mat for money against pros sometimes? Yeah, I have no idea why. I guess it's kind of like the sacrificial lamb, to hype the guy up, make his Instagram feed longer or something. Right. But, they let me out there sometimes. But that's not my lane. Short a little bit. Whatever, Yeah. But my lane is coaching kids specifically. I have a passion for it, and it's my career. I'm not a teacher who coaches. Right. I'm not a coach that has to teach. Right. Does that make sense?
I know those guys. Yeah.
I am a coach that is going to coach. Yeah. Right. And I honestly, like you said, it sounds arrogant, and I don't mean to come off that way, but also I'm a little bit, for a very, very long time, I've sold myself short, and I haven't given me the credit that I feel like at this point I deserve. I'm gifted. Everyone I meet and lets me work with their kid tells me I'm gifted. Yeah. If you give me a week, right, with your kid, you'll see that I'm gifted. And you know, I'm not saying that when I say gifted, I mean it was given to me.
Yeah.
Like it was given to me for me to use and share, right? And that's what I want to do, and I'm great at it. And so I know what works. So right now, I can guarantee we're doing classes at 5:45 to 6:30. All ages can come. I am going to have a 4, 5, 6-year-old class, right? I don't know the days yet. Okay, I'm still trying to figure it out.
Bringing in those 4-year-olds.
Yeah, which is tough. And frankly, if you're a parent of a 4-year-old, don't take offense to this. They're not learning a whole lot.
Yeah.
What they are learning is how to be a little bit better of an athlete.
Yeah.
How to emotionally deal with someone grabbing them and roughing them up,
yeah.
which is the biggest obstacle.
Right.
And how to take direction from someone that isn't their parents. So with saying that, don't try to give direction as a parent during class. Okay, let me help your kid.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
It's okay that he's not listening to me. It's part of the plan. Right.
Man.
You don't have to try to reach out and make him listen.
Yeah.
Just let him not listen. Let me love on him and let me teach him that he needs to listen. And if he does, everything's going to be better. And I'll build a relationship with him. And that's what the 4-year-olds are learning. They're not learning jiu-jitsu.
Well, that's what I can vouch for that firsthand as well, because you coach Flint, right? And you knew Flint, his first class, and he's night, and he's a different kid since he started jiu-jitsu.
When he started, he was a great example of a 4-year-old.
Yeah,
you know what I mean? Yeah. It just is what it is. Like, what can you expect of a kid that?
Right.
I mean, 45 minutes to them is an eternity.
That's all day,
bro. It's forever. That's right.
Like 5
especially their
of Bluey,
first
right?
day. They've never done anything for 45 minutes.
Yeah,
ever. You know what I mean?
Well, that and their first time, I guess Flint had seen it, but like your first time in the gym as a little kid, somebody runs up and grabs you and throws you.
Oh my gosh!
Like, what in the world?
Yeah, it's borderline traumatic.
They didn't know what to expect,
and so we have to kind of baby them into it.
Right.
You know what I mean? So, anyways, we're gonna have 4, 5, 6-year-old classes. Those ages work together well. Those kids are welcome to come to the older kids class, but there's an expectation that, frankly, most of them can't reach, and I might have to ask them to come to the next class, to come to the younger kid class. Right. But, and then to be honest with you, there's a lot of 4-year-olds that can't keep up in the 4-year-old class, and that's okay too. There's no reason to bring a kid that's not ready. I promise you, I know you want them there. And I know that you hear all these great things, that this is going to be a vehicle for them to be a new person. Yeah. But it can be a bad thing, too, to make them do something that they're not ready to do and make them do it and force feed it to them. They're going to get burnt out, and they're not going to love it. And the first thing that you need, I don't care what any of these scientists say and think they know, the first thing you need if you're going to teach a kid something is emotional engagement. Yeah. If you don't have emotional engagement, if they're not emotionally inclined to be good at this, I promise you they're not going to stick with it. They might be good at it. Yeah. But that doesn't transfer over into continuing to do it. And that's where everybody misses the point. It doesn't matter how effective the training is if they quit after 6 months. Yeah. It doesn't matter.
Burned them out or they hate it or whatever. Yeah.
Anyways, that's a whole nother podcast. I could talk about that. But, so 4, 5, 6, and then we'll have 7 through whatever. You know what I mean? And then the teens will start phasing into the adults class. I'm considering doing a teens class. I'm considering filling in that time with some other things. I don't know yet. Yeah. It's still early. You know what I mean? Right. And then at 6:30, we'll start the adults class. There will be entry-level, standard, self-defense style jiu-jitsu for 45 minutes. Okay, we're going to go from 6:30 to 7:15, right? It's going to be not sport jiu-jitsu. It will work in sport jiu-jitsu, right? But that's not what it is. If you have no intentions of ever competing, right, and you're like, I don't want to do sport jiu-jitsu, I don't want to do guard pulling because you can't do that in the street, 6:30 to 7:15 is for you, okay? Yeah. It's going to be raw, right? And it's going to be, I don't want to say dumbed down, but the fact of the matter is it's going to be simpler, right? Yeah. And we're gonna drill for 20, 25 minutes. We're gonna roll for 20, 25 minutes. At 7:15, we dismiss class and we start sport jiu-jitsu. We're gonna do sport jiu-jitsu from 7:15 to 8 o'clock, 45 minutes. People have lives and let's go home. At 8 o'clock, if you're done training, because we're gonna drill for 20, 25 minutes, we're gonna roll for 20, 25 minutes. At 8 o'clock, if you've got those maniacs who have more in them, they can stay, right? And they can it's be open rolls after 8 o'clock. You roll as much as you want. Roll all night for all I care. I'll see you at 9 a.m., right? There'll be a 9 a.m. class that'll go to about 10:15, right?
Yeah.
That'll be a slower class. It'll be a combination of sport, jiu-jitsu, and like self-defense. It'll be kind of read the room type training at 9 a.m. Who is here? Are our competitors here this morning? Or is it our dads that, have an office job? Listen, most people that are listening to this, they're considering training. They're not trying to win a world championship.
Right.
They're trying, and excuse my French here, but when their kid says, my dad can kick your dad's ass, right? They want their kid to be right.
Right, yeah.
Okay, and that's why they're training, and that's what we're going to train for, okay?
Yeah.
And that is a big mission statement of mine. Okay, so that's going to be a big deal for us. So that's going to be our 9 a.m. is going to be a little bit of that, but especially our 6:30 to 7:15 is get off bottom, get on top, stay on top, squish people to death, or get the heck out of there.
That's I was going to ask next to define the difference between self-defense jiu-jitsu and sport jiu-jitsu.
Okay, yeah. So it's pretty easy. There's a lot of tactics and games you play in sport jiu-jitsu to win the referee over, and those will get you killed. Yeah. Okay? They will get you killed in a street fight.
All you butt
Let me tell you something, too, though. You delusional people that don't train jiu-jitsu and think that you could beat up a purple belt in sport, a sport jiu-jitsu purple belt. You're wrong. It's a resounding no. He will kill you from the bottom. If you don't believe me, Google the closest gym, go one night, and call one of the dudes wearing purple out, okay? They'll eat your lunch. You can punch them if you want to, but you're just going to make the bear mad, okay? So don't do that. Don't do that. But if you do it, find Trip Durden and do it to him because it'd be funny. But no, so the sport jiu-jitsu guys are effective in fights, but there is a lot of wasted time, right? That's a very popular thing in jiu-jitsu right now for people listening. Like what gets us as good as fast as possible, right? Or as good as we can be as fast as possible. That's a very popular trend right now in jiu-jitsu. People have realized that it doesn't take 15 years to be a black belt. It takes 4, right? And they've figured out a way to do it. And there's more than one way to do it. Don't let them lie to you. There's more than one way to do it. But they're selling you something if they tell you it's one way to do it, and they won't tell you in the ad, okay? There's a reason it's a sponsored ad, okay? But anyway, that's very popular right now. So that's what I'm going to do. We're going to make it 45 minutes. It's going to make my job harder, right? I'm going to have to be better at lesson plans and stuff. I'm very capable of it. I've done this a long time. I've been coaching since I was 17, 18 years old with wrestling. You can
plan out an entire wrestling practice.
Yeah, bro. I'm going to knock it out of the park. I've been doing this for a long time, and I can't wait. And I'm going to just take the template that I've developed with the kids. I'm going to move it over to the adults and tweak it a little bit because attention spans are different. Expectations of the day are different. But if we're being honest, right, how long do you like to drill? 20 minutes?
Maybe.
Like before it becomes a chore?
Yeah.
And now listen, if you're going to be a blue belt world champion, Danny, it's time to do your chores.
I'm like
you should drill more
at the gym.
Do you understand? You see what I'm saying?
Yeah.
But you're not there to be a blue belt world champion.
Right.
You want to pull this off, in doomsday scenario, and we don't have 3 hours to do this. We have lives and kids and jobs. So we're going to drill for about 20 minutes because that's the emotional engagement stops around then. And then we're going to do situational drilling and rolls, right, for about 20, 25 minutes. You know why? Because if I tried to make you do 30 minutes, you'd die. But you can do 20. You can do 20. Like you right now have trained 5 times, 6 times the past 6 months. You could do 20 minutes. You could do 20 minutes. You know what I mean? Day one guy might not be able to do 20 minutes. But the goal is to do the 20 and do it really well and be effective for the full 20. So that's what we're going to do. And I think the streamlining it, most jiu-jitsu gyms do not do that. Especially most wrestling practices don't do that. It's 3 hours long and the kids hate it.
They just grind on them for 3 hours.
I don't know why we have 15 kids on our team. Well, you torture them every day.
You
literally torture them. And, it's a tough sport and everything, but also it's hard to win a duel when you fill 8 weight classes. So how good are you actually?
Right.
Yeah. So, but anyways, that's a whole nother thing too. I can whine about so many things.
We'll bring you back.
I'm almost as gifted at whining as I am at coaching kids. But anyways, yeah, 7:15, that class ends, and it's going to be very simple, rudimentary basics. How to retain your guard and get up, right? How to maintain space. What is a frame? How to use submissions to get people off of you, not necessarily finish them. Right. Violence is a technique, and you can practice it. Okay. And we're not that we're going to be in there breaking people's necks or anything, but I'm gonna teach you when you need special details and when you can just be a little bit violent and it's going to be fine.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And that is the basics class, the entry level class, the self-defense class, the sport jiu-jitsu class. To kill a competition purple belt takes some very extensive attention to detail. You have got to really get it all right, or the guy's getting out, right? So we're going to go into the weeds a little bit more and do different positions and talk about different things and tactics and such.
Right.
But I expect most people to do both because it's both jiu-jitsu and it's both fun and it's an hour and a half, and most people have an hour and a half.
Right.
I expect some to stay after the hour and a half and roll. I know I'm going to. I'm going to roll to about 8:30 every night, and I'm going to sit around and talk on the mat till 9:30, and my wife's called me 6 times, and I need to leave, right? And the reason I know I'm going to do that, I've done that since I was 15.
Been doing it forever.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
My whole life. For literally nearly half my life, that's what I've done, and I'm going to keep doing it. But, but yeah, that's kind of the schedule.
Yeah.
No like early morning classes as of right now.
Like 6 a.m.s.
Nothing planned on the weekends right now. I can guarantee you there will probably end up being a 6 a.m. or 5 a.m. or 7 a.m. where I'm going to have to figure out what works for the community the best.
Yeah.
Right? And then I'm also going to have to figure out the weekends, right? On Friday, we're going to do it every single Friday, 9 a.m. open mat, right? Probably nothing Friday night right now because, it's Friday night. People don't want to come. I would love to be there.
You're a junkie, though. You're a different kind of junkie.
You know what I mean? But just realistically speaking, Friday night isn't the night that people want to be doing jiu-jitsu.
Right.
And then Saturday, my intentions are to have either classes or open mats on Saturday, right?
Yeah.
If you are interested in that, hit me up, right? Because I'm not gonna be there every single Saturday, right, for an open mat. I can be there for classes a fair amount. So if you're interested in that kind of thing, you need to hit me up and see if, we can work something out about, people being there for me. I have a lot of really close people that I think will help me out with that. But right now that's kind of and like I said, this isn't hashed out. On social media, we'll do some kind of Facebook post or Instagram and post the schedule sooner or later. But right now I don't have it hashed out 100%. Yeah.
I got you, man. Exciting stuff, though. Where's all this taking place? We haven't covered the address yet.
934 Martin Luther King Jr. Boulevard, Rome, Georgia, 30161.
Are you Martin Luther King or are you Spiderweb?
On paper, legally,
grab this.
Legally, it's Martin Luther King Jr.
Okay.
Yeah, I don't know where the spiderweb thing comes from. But if you look up the address, 934.
It's Martin Luther King. Okay.
It's Martin Luther King.
So I thought that until the other day, and I was looking at it, and it said Spiderweb on something. I forget what
I don't know. I've seen it on the picture of the keys I sent you.
Yeah.
It says Spiderweb on those.
Yeah. Okay.
I've heard that road called Spiderweb a bunch.
Yeah, that little road that goes behind the varsity there.
On paper, it's Martin Luther King.
It's right behind Advanced Auto Parts on Martin Luther King.
In the same building as Ideal Mills. No, wait. Is it Ideal Mills?
Yes, Ideal Mills.
Ideal Mills.
Yeah.
Yep. Since the resurrection of that building, there have been martial arts schools in that building from the day it was rented out the first time to this moment. Yeah. So let's just keep that going. It's just working out.
Why not?
That's a great place to start a gym. Let's do it. You know what I mean? And we'll see where it goes from there. But right now, we're at, so over there.
Okay.
Near the varsity in Rome at 5 points.
Do whatever you got to do with that.
Did I mess it up?
No, I messed it up. You were right. This is your place. Your name's on the lease. Whatever.
Oh, okay. Yeah. No, it's no big deal.
Address is what you say it is.
Yeah. But so yeah, that's where it's at. We're gonna have about. I've tried to do the math. It's not easy to do because you're gonna have to cut some mats up and stuff. We're gonna have just under 1,300 square feet of mat, which is plenty of mat.
That's a lot of mat.
Well, we're wall to wall, baby.
Yeah.
We're gonna be wall to wall.
Yeah.
I mean, there's gonna be like a little strip to get to the bathroom and to your car.
Yeah.
But at the end of the day, it's a jiu-jitsu school or a grappling school.
Right.
We need room to grapple. You know what I mean?
That's the most important thing. Yeah.
And if anybody would like to spectate, I am elated to be in the same room as spectators again.
Yeah.
I cannot wait. I'm going to put on a beautiful performance, and the kids are too, right? And I'm really, really excited that people will be in the room every day to see it. But also, that's not. I'm not paying the bills because people are spectating. I'm paying the bills because we're doing jiu-jitsu. Yeah. So Matt from wall to wall, it's going to be beautiful. I can't wait. Yeah.
Well, so I've never tried jiu-jitsu before.
Yep.
And Emperor City has popped up. I've seen it on Facebook. I've driven by it,
Heard
whatever.
It on Burnham podcast.
Yeah.
This
and I want to go in.
That pushes me over the edge.
Absolutely. 1 million people. And I want to go in and try jiu-jitsu for the first time. I'm a man. I'm a woman. I'm young. I'm old. I'm whatever. Like, what do I expect walking in and getting into my first class?
The first thing I need to say is I know it's scary.
Yeah.
Okay? And you're not going to say it out loud, and you're not going to admit it. You're going to talk to your wife about it, or you're going to talk to your husband about it, or you're going to whatever, okay? I know it's scary. It's scary for the kids. It was scary for me. It was scary for you. It's going to be scary to the listener of this, okay?
Yeah.
It's okay that it's scary. I promise you, no one has any ill intent for anybody. We want to help you. We all had our first day too. Mm-hmm. We remember what that feeling felt like, and it's not pleasant, But you need to come try it, right? So, gonna be scary. Bring flip flops. Just trust me, okay? You don't have to wear them, right? You just want them so you don't got to try to lace up your Converse every time you need to go to the restroom or something, okay? Or go outside to puke, all right? There might be some puking,
it happens.
Especially in that sport jiu-jitsu class.
Yeah.
Can be particularly mean to those people. But anyways, so bring flip-flops. So you can just carry them in. That way, if you need to go to the restroom, you ain't got to tie your shoes. You just slip your flip-flops on and go to the restroom. There are no shoes on the mat. There are no bare feet off the mat. Ground, gross. Mat, clean, right? Yeah. Let's maintain that. Yeah. I don't want to bring ick on the mat and then rub your face in it and then you get staph. That's not good, right? I'm going to do an impeccable job of keeping these mats clean, just like most jiu-jitsu schools in America. Yeah. They do such a good job, honestly. At this day and age, it's a terrible business model not to have clean mats, right?
Yeah.
So most places do a very good job, okay? But anyway, in our school, no shoes on the mat, no bare feet off the mat, right? No wrestling shoes off the mat. Take your slip your flip-flops on with your wrestling shoes in them if you have to, but don't wear them around off the mat. So that's one thing. If it's a gi day or no gi day, right, just wear shorts, tight underwear, and a shirt that you wouldn't mind getting ripped, okay? A shirt. Did I say short? Shirt that you don't want, if it gets ripped, it ain't no big deal. Don't wear something nice, right? But so that's the thing. If it's gi day, we will loan you a gi. Your $20 for your first week, that is gi rental. That's what that is, okay? Gis take forever to wash and dry. Yeah. Okay?
That's a day-long process.
Bro, it takes forever, okay? And a lot of water, and a lot of stuff. So anyways, $20 gets you the week. That gets you the gi rental, more or less. Yeah. So we'll loan you a gi. It's going to fit great. I promise. We're going to make sure it fits you good. I saw something on Instagram today where they say a guy intentionally puts big gis on wrestlers so he can hold on to them better. Like a gi that's two sizes too big.
Yeah.
You might start stealing that.
Slow them down.
So if you wrestled, probably going to get a kind of big deal. I'm just playing. But anyways, you put the gi on and we'll teach you how to tie the belt, right? You get on the mat, you do the class. It's not going to, dude, people do it all the time, okay?
Yeah.
It's going to be intimidating. You're going to get out. I'm going to ask you to do things you've either never done or haven't done in years.
Mm-hmm.
It's going to be challenging. That's why you came. Don't be discouraged.
Right.
It's why you come. If you come in and you knock it all out of the park, right, you're getting scammed. Okay? Quit going to that school.
That McDojo.
They're lying. Yeah, they're scamming you. Okay? They're not actually preparing you. Jiu-jitsu is supposed to be hard. Okay? So it's going to be a little challenging physically, mentally. The second class at my place might be a little emotionally challenged even some days. If you're listening to this and you do train jiu-jitsu and you say you haven't rode home with no music on, with your bottom lip quivering, you're a liar. Okay? You're a liar because
can attest.
I do it. I still do it.
Yeah.
I still do it. I'm going to own the place and I'm going to do it.
Yeah.
Okay? It's fine. It's perfectly fine. Just come in and have high expectations for your effort and low expectations for your performance.
Yeah.
And then lastly, when we roll, I'm not going to make you train with anybody that makes you feel uncomfortable, right?
There you go.
That this guy, I don't trust him. I'm not going with him. Don't go with him. Don't go with it. That's a him problem.
Yeah.
If he wants to train with people, he'll change.
Yeah.
Right? Kick rocks, dude. You go find somebody else.
Yeah. My 17-year-old daughter chooses her training partners.
Has to, bro.
First based on how they look.
Yeah, that's a good filter. Sometimes it doesn't tell the whole story.
Right.
But also, if he looks like he's 300 pounds, but he's only 280, still big guy. You know what I mean? So, probably not a great training partner. So, but anyways, for tiny little Ayla, she'll get squished like a bug.
Yeah.
But anyway, so it's going to be tough. It's going to be fun. I'm going to have expectations for you. That's why you want to come. When was the last time that you did something physical and mentally straining where someone put expectations on you, right? It's going to be a very tight-knit community, right? Everywhere I've ever coached since I was a kid, I wasn't the guy that was in charge of the culture. I was just a tool to help guide the culture in a certain direction, right?
Yeah.
But I was like the wind for a sailboat. I'm doing my thing, but I'm not directing the sail. Does that make sense?
Yeah.
Now I'm the dude moving the sail, okay?
Yeah, right.
It's going to be a tight-knit community, and I can't wait to work on that. And the culture is going to be a healthy one. And if anybody, wants to hit me up, and talk about it, I will talk. You can tell I'm long-winded.
All good.
I'll talk your ear off about it. As far as what to expect, it's men, women, children, elderly, like
I don't
big.
have to bring my own funny pajamas on day one.
Nope. Yeah. We're gonna let you borrow one, and you don't have to take it home and wash it. You just leave it with us. I'm gonna take care of it. And the mat's gonna be really clean. You're not gonna get sick. You're not gonna get. That's the other thing. If you're sick, maybe don't come. That goes for people that train and people that don't train. If you got the sniffles,
or school, don't.
My baby was in the NICU for a month. She was 2 months premature, and when we brought her home, they were just giving us some advice, and they said the first thing we're going to tell you is it's never just the sniffles. Just the sniffles doesn't exist. The people are sick, and don't let them around the baby. That's how we're going to treat the jiu-jitsu. It's not just the sniffles, dude. It's not just a 99-degree fever. You're sick. You're sick. You don't come. You know what I mean?
Right.
It's not just a bug bite. It's not just a spider. You got something.
It's always a spider bite, right?
It's always a spider bite. You know how many people, because I'm an
bite.
idiot, right, and I'm just good enough to get invited to these things, you know how many people I have been in, hey, you want to come to this tournament because somebody pulled out because of a spider bite?
Yeah.
No, that's not
my
it.
wrestlers all the time. Coach, I think it's a spider bite. Like,
no, that's staff. That's staff or impetigo or whatever it is. You know what I mean? There's 100 different things it could be. Ringworm. So all of that. We're not going to have that a lot in our school. I can promise you that. Nowhere I've ever been in charge of cleanliness have we had a lot of that.
Yeah.
I'm kind of militant on that.
You have to be.
I'm a pretty easygoing guy, but on that, it's just,
You're so militant. We've talked about it twice now.
Yeah, militant.
We're cleaning the mats.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. Like literally, I'll take it very serious. Very serious. But anyways, So, anything else to expect? Not really. If I'm gonna put you with experienced guys when you come, so you're not gonna be the blind leading the blind, right? Even if it means you don't get your own partner, I have to take you and put you with 2 people drilling, and you're going to hang out with them and copy them.
Right.
That's what we'll do. But I'm not doing the thing where 2 new guys drill. It's dumb. It's a waste of both of their time.
Yeah.
It's awkward. They have no idea what they're doing. They're here to learn something, and that ain't gonna cut it.
Right.
So I'm gonna do a little bit better on that than I have done in the past. But I'm trying to think if there's anything else like to expect. But
that's not to say like don't not bring your friend. But,
bring
you guys can train together once you figure things out.
If you want to waste each other's time, yeah, whatever, man. Like, come on.
Yeah.
But it would, just being frank, it's better if you don't. Let me help you.
Yeah.
Okay, just trust me a little bit. It's gonna be better if you let me put you over here and then put this other guy over here. But to drill with some experienced dudes. I'm going to really make an effort of that, right? That was something I didn't do very good when I was coaching wrestling. You just let the good kids pair up and you never deviate from that, which is fine. But at the same time, there are resources to help the not so good kids.
Yeah.
I'm going to do better on that. I promise. Let's see. What else? I think that's it as far as expectations.
I don't usually have questions. I got my list here of questions, and I think we've talked about all these. All the day one stuff. What's this place called? Where's it going to be? How to contact you? We've done all that.
Yeah. I think that's about it, really. Honestly, for me, the community and the culture are the most important things to me. Like, the jiu-jitsu is going to be neat. We're going to have high-level jiu-jitsu. I would like to think that I'm pretty good at jiu-jitsu. But
you are a black belt.
Well, and getting a black belt in Brazilian jiu-jitsu, that could be a whole podcast in itself. It's a very hard martial art to get a black belt in.
Yeah.
There's a level of effectiveness that comes with it. Okay? There are plenty of martial arts where you do your time and you do the paperwork and you do the forms, you'll get a black belt.
Yeah.
Okay?
Yeah.
There is a level of effectiveness that comes when you touch a Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu black belt that you are in for. As soon as you grab him, you can tell, he might not be a world champion, and he might be whatever. He might be overweight. He might be really, really tiny. He might be this. He might be that. I promise you, every Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu black belt in this day and age that you grab is going to be effective.
Yeah.
In some way or another, right? To some degree. So, I'm not bad, but I don't like toot my own horn when it comes to that stuff. But it's so lesser important to me, honestly, than the community and the culture. The culture of what we're doing is going to be the most important because that's going to affect everybody that ever is in the community. And the immediate community we have at this moment is going to be the second most important thing.
Yeah.
And the jiu-jitsu comes third, right? Culture first. No matter what, we're going to maintain a high standard of culture, right? And I'm going to make sure that we have leaders in the room that are doing the right things and showing people what that is and what that looks like, what it sounds like, what it moves like. And then community directly after culture, right? The people that are in the room or the community with these people are important, not because of anything other than that they're people and they need people in their lives to care about them. I so desperately wanted somebody to care about me. Here we are doing it. We're doing it, and we're going to care about each other, and we're going to check on each other when their kids are sick or when they miss a day or whatever. It's going to be important. And then the jiu-jitsu comes third. And you know what the beautiful thing about that is, Denny? Even though the jiu-jitsu is going to be third, I have an incredibly high expectation of our performance in jiu-jitsu.
It's going to be a close third.
Yeah. It's still incredibly important. It's not like we're going to sit around and sing Kumbaya the whole time, right?
Yeah.
But, it is the fellowship and the visiting and the checking on people, and it is the most important part. And the jiu-jitsu is going to be the incredible jiu-jitsu will be a byproduct of the culture we maintain.
Boom.
Yeah.
There you go.
I mean? Yeah, and I'm very excited about that, to be the guy that gets to guide that and have his hands on the sail, if you will. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Because I feel like I'm very, very passionate about it, and it's just exciting for me. You know what I mean?
It's exciting for anybody standing close by you, like you're radiating at this point.
Yeah, and I try not to be too long-winded about it, but it's just
you've been talking for an hour and 15 minutes now.
That wasn't supposed to be an hour and 15 minutes, was it?
Yeah, you were like, let's do like a 30 minute. I knew better. I was like, sure,
sorry.
PJ. That's fine.
What time is it?
Dear. After 10, Jessica's texting me.
I'm sorry.
You're good. You're good.
Was there anything else from you?
will you give me a purple belt if I no?
Yeah, no kidding.
Please don't give me purple belts.
Yeah, I will say like that. Just putting this out there. Maybe I say it, maybe I shouldn't. Maybe you end up cutting this.
Right.
I wouldn't come here expecting belts. Like I wouldn't come here with any of that. That's not why I'm doing this. That's not why I want people training with me.
Yeah.
You know.
Yeah. It's not I'm the doing right reason to train.
Nope. And so the first, I don't know. I can't tell a real amount of time. I can't say that. I can't promise this, but I'd like it to be the first 6 months is setting the standard for what the culture and community, are.
Are we talking adults and kids?
Adults and kids. Maybe not kids. You come in.
Their belt system's a little different.
Well, it's faster.
Yeah.
It's just a faster system. You know what I mean? So 6 months for a kid is almost a whole belt rank sometimes, depending on how talented the kid is. And if he was just started and stuff.
Right.
But for particularly adults, I wouldn't come here thinking that you're going to get something at a high rate of speed.
Yeah.
Does that make sense?
Yeah.
Trying to abuse the system. It's not a priority of mine right now. And we'll get to it. It will be a very high. It means something. Here's the fact of the matter. Okay, it's very trendy in jiu-jitsu to say belts don't matter.
Yeah.
Okay, it's very trendy in jiu-jitsu to say that stripes don't matter. I feel very bad for anybody that believes it. My heart aches for these people, and here's why. Yeah. Does it reflect how talented you are and effective? No, and that's what those pro athletes mean when they say that.
Yeah.
Okay. But what it does reflect is that a mentor of yours thought a lot of you, and you thought a lot of him, and you trusted him, right? And you bought into what he was saying.
Yeah.
And he bought into you and invested time into you, right? And this is a relationship. And I don't care that it's a foot-long piece of tape that's this wide.
Yeah.
Okay? It means something. And when I put it on your belt or I give you a new belt or whatever, I'm not going to take that for granted, and I'm not going to, just fizzle away that relationship that you have an opportunity to have an impact on somebody. Right? I'm going to take it very, very serious, and I can tell when I do it for the kids because I've given out hundreds and hundreds of stripes and belts in my experience with jiu-jitsu because I've led a kids program for so long.
Yeah.
You can say it doesn't matter all you want, and it sounds cool on an Instagram reel, but it matters, bro, because look at their face.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And the way I know it matters is because when I got my black belt, I sat around and looked at it for 2 weeks.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
I walk around the house with my blue belt. Sometimes I've never told anybody Jessica knows.
Bro,
made fun of me.
It just feels nice.
Yeah. Yeah.
To know that someone you respect a lot thinks that much of you. You know?
I've received 4 stripes and a belt, and they all were a huge deal.
I'm not going to take that for granted. Yeah. It's going to be really cool. But yeah, anyways, so don't expect nothing crazy on first night, okay?
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's going to be fun. It's going to be culture. Mm-hmm. It's going to be jiu-jitsu. It's going to be a place to belong.
Yep. Dude, it's going to be everything it could be, you know? And it's going to be a lot of work.
Yeah.
You know? But, dude, man, I'm so built for that. I'm not built for making tires. You know what I mean?
No offense, Tango.
Yeah, I'm just not, bro. I'm not built for it.
Tango makes tires at his day job.
You know, I'm not built for working at a middle school. Yeah. Like, as much as I am good with kids, I tried that. I'm not made for that. You know what I mean? I'm not built for putting sodas on a shelf. I tried that. I'm not made for that. I'm meant to work with kids. You know, I can work with kids in a lot of different ways, you know, and I'm proud of that. But specifically through this, I feel like I have an opportunity to do something really special and, you know, have a big impact on a lot of people. And I'm very, very excited about that.
I'm excited. Can you talk about your affiliation?
No.
Okay. All right. Well, later, some other time.
Yeah. What can I say? I can say.
I just thought of that just now. That wasn't on my list.
No, it's a great question. I can't talk on it.
Okay.
I think it's inappropriate for me to do that at this time.
Okay.
There's no concrete decisions on that. We will have an affiliation. We will be affiliated. It's important to the right people. Now, as far as the self-defense guys, it doesn't matter to you, bro.
Right,
you know what I mean? But if you ever want to compete in IBJJF, it's going to matter. And the thing about affiliations is that they're relationships first, in my opinion. They're not business. I don't want a business relationship. I want like a relationship with my affiliate.
Yeah.
And at this time, I just can't say. You know what I mean?
Yeah. No, that's cool.
But I'm glad you asked, though, because I didn't think about that either.
Yeah.
You know, stay tuned.
Stay tuned.
Yeah, I promise it's going to be fun.
I can guarantee that. I've thought that since I first heard the plan. I was like, well, that's going to be fun.
Yeah. No, yeah, it's going to be great.
Yeah, it's going to be cool. Mm-hmm. So, man, if you got nothing else, I got nothing else.
You know, I don't think I have anything else. Like I said,
we'll both think of 10 other things as we drive home.
EmperorCityGC@gmail.com. Don't have the Facebook or Instagram up as of today. We're gonna do it. I just want to do that at the right time.
Right.
And then business line is 706-844-3904. If you need to call me or text me directly, I will carry this phone. I'm not gonna answer at 11 p.m. because it's off, but I'll get to you the next morning.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
All right. I think I'm good. Are you good?
I'm good.
God, I talk so
Tango,
much.
you good?
120.
Everybody's good.
121?
120. 5 or 6 minutes that'll go because it was just us yapping and doing sound checks and stuff beforehand.
Okay, well, that makes me feel a little better.
Yeah, all good.
Sweet. I love you.
I love you. You've never wasted my time, for the record, so we could have done this for 3 hours.
Dude, I could keep going, but you got to
we'll lose listeners at some point.
Yeah, for sure.
Yeah, cool.
I'm
excited about it.
ECGC, baby. Let's do it.
Yeah, thank you guys. Y'all be sure to like, share, subscribe wherever you listen or watch. We appreciate every single one of you. You are the reason we do what we do here. God bless you guys. We love you. See you next time.